Hello, it's Helen from Journal with Purpose and welcome to my Plan With Me video for September. As always, I'm using a Rogier Goal book and a Navigator Art Deco cover, both from Start Bay Notebooks. I'm starting off by creating my welcome pages for the month, and I'm using a Staedtler pigment liner with a 0.05 nib. And the quote that I'm writing out is, "By all these lovely tokens, September days are here, with summer's best of weather and autumn's best of cheer." And I thought that was just so lovely and obviously perfect for September. Because it's probably the last of the summer months and the good weather here in the UK, I decided that I would sketch out a sunflower. I always like to have some bright, colourful pages as my welcome to each month. It just sets the tone for that new chapter in my journal. I know I'm going to have quite a full-on month in September. It looks like we might be moving house, and I'm also running some workshops and got some other meetings in the diary too, so I thought I'd try and get my setup done well in advance. To add some colour to my drawing, I'm going to be using Derwent watercolour pencils, and I will then use a Derwent water brush to go over the top of them. And watercolour pencils are one of my favourite things to use in my journal. You don't have to add as much water as you do with watercolour, so you don't get quite as much crinkle, but you still get that same lovely watercolour effect. I also find watercolour pencils to be easier to use than normal pencils, and that's partly because you can be a bit quicker with them because you don't have to be precise with how you're colouring, because when you use the water brush over the top you can really blend those colours together. So now this is the fun bit, the bit I really enjoy, where I can use that water brush right over the top. And the Staedtler pigment liner is really great for this because it doesn't smudge at all with water. Once I've let the water dry, I use that pigment liner to go back over the top just to add in a few details. The next page I'm setting up is for my calendar for the month. It's also where I will add my goals and my social media tracker too. I'm now adding in a few of the meetings and deadlines that I've got coming up, and I will add in the rest closer to September when I know that those dates have been confirmed. With my goals section, again, once it gets closer to September, I will have a clearer idea of what I want to achieve throughout the month, and I'll just add probably about half a dozen goals in there. I'm now using some lovely washi tape from London Gifties, and I'll add that to my page just to really give it a bit of interest and colour. I'm now using a Tombow ABT brush pen number 243 to add some highlights to the boxes, and I will also highlight each Monday on the calendar so that I can quickly see how many weeks are left in the month. I decided I wanted a bit more colour on my page, so I'm adding some stickers from Love Pipsticks. And the next page I'm setting up is my habit tracker for the month. Each month when I set up my habit tracker, I think about what's been working or not from the month before, and I often change around a few of those habits to keep things interesting and to also make sure that I keep developing in the right direction. The next pages I'm setting up are for my gratitude and highlights for the month. They're really quick to set up, and I will add to them each evening as I go through and want to record things that I'm really happy to have in my life. I'm now just quickly flipping back to previous months so that you can see how they look once they're completed and halfway through the month. The next pages I'm setting up are for my master task list, and this is where I add everything that pops into my head that needs to be done but doesn't actually fit onto my plans for that day. The final pages I'm setting up will be called Reasons to be Proud, and I started this partway through last month because I find in the evening it's really easy to beat yourself up for everything that didn't go well and everything you didn't get done. So I've decided as part of my evening journaling I'm going to write down a few things that I'm proud of myself for, and that's really been a great mood lifter in the evenings. To create these pages I'm using a Donna Downey bubble stencil and Distress Oxide inks in Bundled Sage and Frayed Burlap. I'll make sure that I include links to all of the products that I've used in the description box down below. And this is how my Reasons to be Proud pages are looking partway through the month of August. I really hope you've enjoyed watching this month's video. If you have, it'd be great if you give it a thumbs up, and if you're new to my channel I'd love it if you'd consider subscribing. Thank you ever so much for watching, and I look forward to speaking to you in the next one.